I'm with Jeannette Castonguay in her living room. Thank you, Jeannette, for agreeing to meet with us.
You're welcome.
And so we've got a lot of things to talk about. And let's start with talking about yourself, your credo, your passion, your principles.
Well, I have 4 children, 12 grandchildren, so life is busy. I love kids. I've always loved to do anything that's new, anything that's different. So that's when I became a teacher, and I decided to work with kids and do my best. And I like to have fun. I like to do things that are different. I like to do things that are original. So we have a lot of fun, and I always plan different parties or different activities, and everybody chips in, and we have a lot of fun, and that's what life is about.
What happened to put you on that path?
I only became a teacher at 35 years old. I already had my 4 children at the time. When I finished high school and I was with my husband, we started dating at 15 and 16, got married at 19 and 20. And my passion in life was to get married and have kids. And that's what we did. And eventually we moved to Elliott Lake because there was the mines here that had closed. And there was a couple whose husband died. And it sort of put the scare in me, saying, I have 4 kids, and what will I do? So I decided to go back to finish my university. At the time, money was scarce, so I started renting Halloween costumes, and that would pay for my university, and eventually I became a teacher. I felt I was too shy before that, and working with the Girl Guides with the kids and the girls, well, then that sort of took out a passion in me to have more fun and to work with more children. So that's when I decided to become a teacher when we came back to Sudbury. And I always thought that being older, it would be much easier. I would have more to give. But it's like having a baby. Whether you have it at 20 or at 40, it's your first baby, and you have to go through it just like everybody else. It was not easier. It was new.
And how did that help you in your journey, Jeannette?
Once you start being a teacher, you start noticing that you have to keep up with the times. You have to keep up with computer-wise, with your courses. In order to have a better salary, you keep taking university courses. You don't watch much TV because in the evening you're doing your homework.
So true.
And as a teacher, you're doing your work to prepare for the work when you're going to teach. And once you've taught your lessons, you have to do the work to look at what your students understand. And then at night, you have to start over the work to prepare for the work of the next day. So you end up having the impression that you're always working, but you're always learning. And that was the part that I loved about teaching. And when you see the twinkle in the kids' eyes, and you see the lesson that they caught, then that was the amazing part of it. But I must say that when my class, they didn't seem well, like in their well-being of themselves, I would stop teaching and we would address. I've always seen teaching as preparing a mini society. We're going to learn to work at home. You do it at home and you learn how to be a little family and to interact. You do the same thing a little bigger. For once they are adults, they should be well prepared in the society there is.
But could you elaborate a little bit more in the rewards of everyday life as a teacher?
I think the most reward was to see the students that are well, that are happy, and even the ones that school was easy or not easy. I remember a young boy that I had that was a very difficult young man, and he was in my class the next year, and I was sort of thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to be a difficult year because he's had many difficult years, and that was grade 5. So I told him that I wanted him in my classroom. So I said, I'll ask the principal. He says, well, nobody has ever asked to have me in their classroom. I said, well, we just might have it together. It was not an easy year. And we sort of had time out time. And then I would say, it's either you or me or has to go. And because of all the other students, you're going to have to take a break from us. And I'd invite you to come back. So we didn't have to suspend him. When he graduated, he only wanted pictures with me. And I said, but why not with your teachers and with the students? He says, Madame, I've never felt loved. All my years of schooling, you're the only one who loved me. And to me, that was very, very special. So I sort of picked up kids with activities, either doing with intergeneration or doing with singing or props or anything, play games, do activities for to learn how to talk in front of a class. I didn't need to be the one in front. I wanted my kids to be in front. So I think my proudest moment was we went to Écho d'un Peuple in Ottawa. And in Ottawa, it was the story of the French Canadians and all their history through Ontario, French Franco-Ontarien. And when we went there, I said, we could do that at school. So I was able to get about 250 kids, and we had mothers, and we took clothes from Saint-Vincent-de-Paul, and we made L'Écho d'un Peuple at school, which was just fantastic. And the classes, they would all do a part of it. And at the end, I think they were proud of what they had done. They were proud to be part of the group. And at the end, I had one comment, and they said, but they're not even speaking French. I said, that choice will come later. Right now, we want them to live something and experience. And I think that's the thing we could do as teachers. Give them an experience that eventually they'll fall on and make them think about their choices. Aside from that, the rest is not our choice, eh?
I know that you are involved in the community. Could you speak a little bit about that?
We had a little granddaughter that was born at the time, so Grandmama was at my daughter's bedside a lot to go help her and all that, and with the grandchildren. But eventually, I didn't want to have to be ready for 9 o'clock. I didn't want to have a schedule. I wanted freedom at the time. But then you're so used to seeing people and doing. Eventually, you have to find some place to put your energy that you've always done. I went to the food bank because with my school, I worked a lot with the food bank. Went there for a while. I went into the schools to help with young students. And then eventually I noticed that my passion is the French language and the culture. And that is what I found in the Club 50, which is a club for the elderly, 45 plus. My mother was one of the first presidents. They were the founders, my parents, of the club. It's been active for over 55 years. And anything that I want to do, anything that I can imagine, I can do it there just like I used to do at school.
Now, what advice would you give to younger generations?
At one time, I guess my advice is changing as I'm growing older. At the beginning, it would have been hang on to your French, and it would be, have a look, make good choices. Now I think is take care of relationships, whether they be friends, whether they be family, whether they be with even strangers that you meet. I always say you have a backpack of experience, and in there are rocks. There are very heavy experiences that you can't see. So take care that when you meet someone, show them a smile, show them some love, show them some care. Not everybody is going to be your friend or your best friend, but you can learn to respect them, make choices by your values, and do your best. Just do your best. Take it one day at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time, but take care of your relationships. They are well worth it.
Looking back on your journey, what do you cherish the most? I think we heard
I think it's love, family, and relationships.
What would you do different going back?
Listen more. I would listen more before and maybe judge less. It's as if I thought that what I had learned as a child, as a young adult, I had the pair of glasses that I went to life with. A lot of it were my parents' glasses. A lot of it was their values. And it took me a long time to become my own person and saying that was very good at that time, but we need change. And I was not always flexible at one time. So I think I would listen more and try to understand more and not judge as much by my set of standards.
Jeannette, thank you for meeting with us. And before we go, anything else that you would like to add?
You know, when I saw that question, it brings me back to my mother. I'm almost 70 years old. And my mother would always say, she said, I know what you're seeing. I know I'm getting old, but on the inside, I'm just a little 40. And I think everybody we see the wrinkles, we'll see age going. And my granddaughter, she says, Grandmama, you don't know the very good music that we know. You're just not aware of all of this. And I said, I understand what you're saying, but you have 15 years of music. I have 65. So let's make the best, because there might be another 15, 20 years ahead of me, but darn it, they're going to be very good ones.
That's a very good philosophy of life. Jeannette, thank you so much.
You're welcome.